You didn't think you were gonna go see Infinity War without me.
Christ, what?
Did ya?
No, man, no, why would I think I was actually on my way to pick you up right now?
I walked here, and now I'm gonna make you pay. Nah, I'm just screwing with you. Let's go watch a movie.
Okay.
You're wearing the same shirt as me.
You're wearing my shirt.
You're gonna have to get out.
No, I was wearing it first.
Fuck you.
Yeah, touche.
That's what. Yes. Let's go. Fuck him.
Okay, for those of you who've been living under a rock for the past 10 years, let me explain to you exactly what Infinity War is. So, Infinity War is the 19th and most recent film to be released in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What's Marvel, you might ask? Well, Marvel is a comic book company that's known for, writing all the funny books. And most of them were starring characters created by this guy. For all intents and purposes, we'll just call him the Man. Stan the Man. Stan the Man Lee. But anyway, so yeah, he created these characters that lived throughout all these decades of comic books. And in 2008, 10 years ago, they created this movie called Iron Man. And they created more movies. And when I say they created more movies, boy, do I mean they created more movies. I mean, as of right now, before seeing Infinity War, there have been 18 movies, from Iron Man all the way to Black Panther.
Yeah, this is how our day's looking. We got ourselves specifically picked MCU flicks to get us through our binge watching needs before we go see the masterpiece that will be Infinity War. And on top of that, we're gonna be watching it on the big screen. Yeah.
Hey.
So guess we'll go ahead and pop the Avengers in. I can just pop it in and have the menu run for a little while and he'll be here.
Awesome.
Twinsies! With a 3. With the glowy text. I'm sending this to Cammy.
Oh, is that a fact?
Look!
Oh.
I'm gonna put a fucking filter on that.
Bitches love filters.
Are you sleeping, Coda? What are you doing?
Coda.
And here we got little Glenny Glenn. Glenda, she got her Avengers dress on. Yes, she does. Don't you? She's looking at me like, fuck you, you ignorant pile of feces. You know it. Bwah, bwah, bwah. Dude, Pat, do you remember when this movie came out?
No, I don't actually.
Remember going to go see this movie in theaters?
Okay, that part I do remember.
Yeah.
But when it came out, can't say I do, because it feels like yesterday.
Yeah, telling me, man. Can tell the people the feelings that went through your body, coursing through your veins when you saw this movie.
I need you to take a step back, Dr. Phil. And I'll tell you, I enjoyed the movie greatly. I didn't know what to think. I was just like, yeah, it's just another superhero movie, nothing to get excited about. I mean, yeah, it's Marvel. Marvel's great. And then I saw it. And I was wrong. Could they have done better? Most definitely. But that's the same thing can be said about any movie.
Fair enough. Thank you, Mr. Cooper. Nothing like sitting here watching the first Avengers movie on the big screen. Sitting here, taking me back all the way to 2012, eh? Isn't that right? He don't give a shit. He's fucking playing on his goddamn phone. Let's see who passes out first. He's all tuckered out.
The streets. I need a perimeter As far back as 39.
Oh, he's gonna be so pissed when he watches the video and sees this.
Yeah.
You think Scarlet Witch and the Vision are gonna get down tonight? This has been the background on my laptop since Black Panther came out. After tonight, I change it to something related to Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a little bittersweet seeing this one go, but.
Where did you learn that name?
Mornings just do not agree with this kid.
It's our fear of death that gives to non-life.
I'm a big old sleepyhead.
I can hear you.
Hey everybody, I hope you've enjoyed the video thus far. As of now, it's the next day. Yeah, it's the next day. We had to take a break on the vlog portion of our video
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
because it was intense. So yeah, everything from this point onward is spoiler territory.
Spoiler alert!
If you want that to stay uncharted territory until you've seen the movie, we completely understand, but we ask you to leave because we're not holding anything back.
That's right. So, but thanks for watching the video. Thanks for enjoying it.
Yep.
But get out of here.
Yeah. Get out of here.
All right. We'll give him a second. Are you gone yet?
I still
they
think
gone?
I think there's a couple of people there still trying to be rebels.
All right.
If you're not gone and you don't want spoilers now, that's your fault.
That's your fault at this point.
Okay. So,
I cannot believe Spider-Man died.
Whoa, we'll get there. We'll get there. He's jumping the gun a bit. That does happen,
you're
unfortunately.
Right, you're right. Loki dies first.
No, Heimdall.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh fuck.
Okay, so
I
this
forgot
movie,
about Heimdall.
this movie is filled with death, sadness, and destruction,
and then more death.
followed by a little taste of death.
It was. For being such a sad, morose, and depressed film, it still had that epic quality to it that you would have expected. The way I described it last night was I loved it for the exact same reason that I hated Justice League. I hated Justice League because it just seemed like a giant montage of nothing but fight scenes with no substance to it. However, that's exactly what Infinity War was, but it had the substance. It had the exposition and the dialogue to continue the story and to actually put it, where it needed to be. You knew what was going on prior to every fight. It just seemed like in Justice League, you didn't have enough time to take in everything that was going on with all the new characters like the Flash and Aquaman, whereas in this one, all the new characters have already been established, so the time can be spread out equally.
Yes, and it wasn't that it seemed that way, it's that it was that way. And that's coming from someone who enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, no, you did. You enjoyed Justice League.
But I'll admit, it could have been better, and this was better.
Yeah, this was much better. I honestly, now that I've actually seen the movie, I don't think an 87% on Rotten Tomatoes does it justice. I honestly think this movie should have gotten, at the bare minimum, a 95.
Yeah, but then again, we're not quite on the same level as those people who get paid to do that.
You're right, and I mean, I'm a fanboy, so what can I say? That's probably just me saying that.
And I am an analyst. I tried to analyze things in this movie. I really did. I wanted to try and give the people some nitpicks and gripes like they would probably expect from my name. But honestly, the only thing that I got is that there were a few fake outs and a few characters that I think should have returned and did not return.
I'm not gonna lie, I think my biggest gripe with that film was the Tony Stark fake out. I was kind of expecting that to be the end of Tony Stark. I was expecting him to die. I thought that was a great resolution for the character. They had set up the whole him and Pepper getting married thing, and then I did not say I wanted to see him die, but I think it would have been a great way to kind of end his arc, where it kind of ends on a little bit of a sad note, and then just like the movie, that's exactly what the movie ended on, was a sad note. So I don't know. I'm kind of bummed out that was a fake out. That he was saved by fucking Quill at the last second, I think is who it was.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Doctor Strange, who, spoiler alert once again,
He died.
No, not that spoiler.
Oh.
The fact that earlier on in the movie, when he meets Peter Parker and Tony Stark, he tells them, if it comes between you, the kid, and the Eye of Agamotto, I will let both of you die to
that's
protect the
right.
Time Stone.
I forgot about that.
He,
yeah.
eventually he says, screw that noise, because Tony's being choked out by a giant purple space grimace.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Doctor Strange, Tony would have died.
Now, I honestly liked that fake out because it proved that Stephen Strange does care about other people.
Right.
He cares about more than his mission.
And that's the entire theme of the first Doctor Strange movie is him being the selfish person who only cares about himself, and then he eventually grows to become. I mean, he's not necessarily the Sorcerer Supreme yet, but that's eventually what he will become.
Now, what bothered me with Doctor Strange's characters and arc within Infinity War is that, well, I'm gonna say it right now, Wong shows up, he does some cool stuff, and then he disappears for the rest of the movie.
Oh yeah.
That really bugs me, because it set it up to be like that he would be a companion to Bruce Banner.
Something like that.
Sort of like a double-edged sword mentor of sorts, to be like, look, you don't need this green hulking monster of rage to fight and be a hero and help the others. But instead, it comes down to, well, what are you going to do, Dr. Banner? I'm gonna make a call. Oh, bye! And then he just leaves for the rest of the movie.
I honestly, I think with Doctor Strange gone now, I think that sets up for Wong to play a much bigger role next year in Avengers 4.
Yes.
Because they're going to need that mystic side of things in order to, with the time, to get things sorted out with the Time Stone. They've been protecting the stone for these years now.
Centuries.
Right. So they really are the only ones that know how it works. So I honestly think Wong's going to play a much larger role in Avengers 4 when the time comes next year. And like I was saying last night, I'm really glad that it's not like when Age of Ultron came out and we have like 3 years to wait before the next Avengers movie. It literally comes out a year from now.
And that is surprising.
And not only that, on top of that, here in a couple months, Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out, and then March of next year, before Infinity War, or before Avengers 4 comes out, Captain Marvel comes out. One thing I wanted to talk about was, I don't know how I felt about the lack of Hulk. Thanos, at the beginning of the movie, Thanos beats the Hulk into fucking submission, beats him back into Banner, and for the rest of the movie, every time Banner tries to get fucking Hulk to come out, Hulk's like, no, I'm not doing it! Part of me loved it because it was hilarious, because it created that, damn you Hulk, you giant green asshole. I loved that line. That was probably my favorite line out of Banner's mouth through the entire movie.
Now, it's his coming of age story in a way. This is him proving once and for all to not just everyone else but himself, I don't need the Hulk to be a hero.
Oh shit, I have to turn here.
I do not need the Hulk to be a hero.
Right.
I think that that's a powerful message, and I think it works.
They set it up. They set up the ending, and really, you can't even call it an ending. The movie doesn't end. All right, it just stops, and then they're like, "All right, next year we're gonna watch the ending of this movie, but you gotta wait a year." So when the movie just stops at the end of the night, we're left with nobody except for Captain America, Black Widow, War Machine.
Yes, War Machine.
Nebula was there, right?
Nebula.
Rocket.
Rocket.
And then Tony.
Yeah, Tony. And also set up to where Captain Marvel
Yep.
is joining in the fray.
The post-credit scene, it starts out simple enough. Actually, it was kind of like what the fuck moment, because the way they set it up is everyone disappears. It's super depressing. Everyone's like, what the fuck do we do now? And then the movie just ends, and they just play this.
It's a really nice remix, but it's depressing.
And it's just really slow, sad, and it's just a black screen. You know how normally in the Marvel movies, the first credit roll has all these flashy, like, animations and stuff.
Not this time.
Nothing at all. There was nothing visually appealing, no inside jokes, nothing of the sort. It was just, you were sitting there, just sitting there with your thoughts, just trying to soak in everything that you had just witnessed. Because it was a 2.5 hour movie, but it felt longer. It felt longer because, and I liked that, because it felt like I was going through the same turmoil that everyone else was. But anyway, so you're sitting there in the 2.5 hours of a movie that you just soaked in, you're just trying to figure out what exactly it was you saw, what does it all mean? And then all of a sudden the post-credit scene pops up, and it's just Nick Fury and Maria Hill driving around, and it seems normal enough, except for some of the stuff they're talking about. They're talking about some crazy, stuff going on. Obviously, they're talking about destruction and random, obviously at this point, by the time the movie's over, we know what they're talking about. And then all of a sudden, fucking car comes, crashes in front of them, they get out, they're freaking out, a helicopter crashes.
Into a building.
Into a fucking building. They see that in the truck that had crashed in front of them, there wasn't a person in there. Maria Hill fucking disintegrates the same way that everyone else has at this point. And then Nick Fury's on his way to, but he pulls out a little receiver to call someone, and then disappears. And then you see blinking the Captain Marvel emblem, signaling the arrival of Captain Marvel. I mean, first we're gonna have to get the Captain Marvel movie, which actually takes place before all this.
Speaking of Ant-Man, though, he was spared because he wasn't even in the movie.
Neither was Hawkeye.
Neither was Hawkeye, which honestly kind of made me happy that he made it out, but upset that I didn't get to see him do anything.
Right, I was kind of expecting at least like a little cameo or something.
But maybe, just maybe, that means that I do have a bit of a theory. The group, they form together, they realize they can stop Thanos by going back in time. They might go to the group that War Machine answered to, who was run by Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. And he would obviously know about a lot of these things.
Right.
So he would be like, all right, well, the world's gone to hell, so I guess we gotta get some people who can actually fight. And get Clint and Scott.
Because Clint, they're both under house arrest.
They're under house arrest that they cut a deal to be with their families.
Yeah, and we're actually going to see what Scott's house arrest entails when Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out. Because Ant-Man and the Wasp takes place before Infinity War.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that for the next Avengers movie, we're going to get Ant-Man, Wasp, Hawkeye, and
Tony.
Obviously, the rest of the survivors.
I think that'll be our current lineup of Avengers at this point.
Possibly Captain Marvel.
Actually, it would have to.
Yeah,
be.
definitely
Captain. They were setting up. Captain Marvel, Avengers 4.
Definitely Captain Marvel, and then
maybe Adam Warlock. But
Adam Warlock, it all depends on if he deems that it would benefit him.
At least that's kind of how I felt.
Yeah. There's also, we only know how this has affected the heroes.
And we still haven't seen like anything civilian-wise. We haven't seen Pepper since the beginning of the movie.
No Happy.
Happy wasn't in it at all.
Which surprised me.
Right. We saw Ned once.
Yeah. Yeah, we also saw Flash once.
I didn't see Flash.
He was on the boss
Oh,
cameo.
was he?
Yeah.
God damn it, I missed it. I'm kind of bummed out I missed it.
Yeah, he was further in the back of the bus.
Dude, I fucking loved when he's like, Ned, and he's like, oh shit, there's a spaceship, we're gonna die, everyone!
Yeah, he literally just smiles and goes, holy shit, oh my god, we're gonna die! And everybody starts freaking out, and then Stan Lee, who's the bus driver, turns around and is like, what's wrong with you kids? Haven't you seen a spaceship before?
I fucking love that Stan Lee cameo, I loved it.
It is by far one of the best Stan Lee cameos.
I was kind of expecting something a little bit more epic considering it was Infinity War, but it was definitely well timed. I'm glad they stuck it in the beginning so that way I wasn't spent the entire movie wondering where the, Stan Lee cameo was. It was right there in the beginning. It got it done and over with so that you can enjoy the rest of the movie, and I understand that, and it works.
Now, I also have another theory, but nothing to go off of on this, just something I'd like to see.
Okay.
The whole world's gone to hell, right?
Right.
So, that
Half the world's gone to hell.
Yes. Well, that would mean that most law enforcement would have disappeared or just not doing their job, which would leave ample time for breakouts to occur.
So you think maybe we'll see some of the past villains?
I would like to see some of the past villains and quite possibly have them have a revelation that, wait a minute, if the world is destroyed, that means I can't do what I do best.
What do you think the odds are they could get Tim Roth back as Abomination?
I want that to happen. I want that to happen because we need someone who can just be like, all right, Bruce, you need to be the monster. I'm excited to see what Nebula will do now that Gamora, there very well may be no bringing Gamora back.
Oh, by the way, Gamora died.
Yeah, Gamora was, rather than being disintegrated like a lot of the others.
So she was straight murdered.
She was thrown off a cliff.
By Thanos.
To
get the Soul Stone.
However, he felt regret.
Well, that's the problem. Like, that was his price he had to pay to get the Soul Stone, because the price to get the Soul Stone was you had to kill something you truly loved. And Gamora, outside of his dream and ambition of, getting all the Infinity Stones,
he wanted her to be the next heir.
He loved her. That was his favorite daughter, his adoptive daughter. He saw something in her that he hadn't seen in anyone else, and it was innocence. He loved her for it. And he was so committed to achieving his ultimate goal that at the end of the day, that shit didn't matter. He killed her.
Yeah. It led to one of my favorite scenes, though, where Thanos ends up seeing within his mind, he goes and talks to a child version of Gamora, and she's like, did you succeed? And he's like, yes, I did. I finally got all the stones. I've got everything. But what did it cost?
Everything.
And then he's sitting there in the sunset, and that's how it ends. It ends with him living and half the universe dying. A lot of really good people, and that's what I mean when I say it hits you.
He lost all of his allies in the process. All 4 of
the Black Order.
Black Order, they're gone.
They're all dead.
They're all dead. Now, in the comics, Thanos had 5.
Yeah, but the reason, I'm pretty sure they just did it for cast reasons, but they took 2 of them. They took the character of Ebony Maw and then the character of Supergiant, and then they just melded them together into the Ebony Maw that's in Infinity War.
Is that the giant rock monster looking guy? Or?
No, Ebony Maw is the wizard dude.
The one that seems like a priest?
Yeah.
Be grateful for your lives are being sacrificed to the beauty of Thanos.
See, that's the Ebony Maw from the comics. The Ebony Maw from the comics was like a priest dude, but the magician stuff was Supergiant.
Yeah, the one that I liked was the guy who basically looked like the harbinger of death.
Oh, fucking Corbin Glaive.
Yes, Corbin Glaive has always been my favorite of the Black Order.
Dude, when he fucking straight sticks his glaive into fucking Vision's head.
Yes, and
to get the fucking stone out.
he also has one of my favorite and more intimidating lines of the film.
Yeah.
Where he just looks at Vision and he's like, I thought that you would pose a threat, but it turns out that you fight more like a mere mortal than a machine.
Well, I think that'll be all the time we have for today. Avengers Assemble.
May the Force be with you.
And it's time to kick ass
and chew bubblegum.
Take it easy, guys.